It is Wednesday, April 8th, 2020, and you are tuned into DIRTRACKR Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. A couple more big iRacing shows last night to talk about, and then a couple of series announcements about some more postponements and some rescheduling stuff going on, so we will get to that here shortly. Logan Seavey, man, he continues to just kick everyone's butt on some of these iRacing shows. He has now won 3 races in 4 days in 3 different cars. That continued last night with the World of Outlaws sprint cars at Knoxville. He won Saturday night in the NASCAR event at Bristol. He then won on Monday night with the World of Outlaws late models, and then obviously last night with the sprint car race. 53 drivers took time in qualifying, with Logan Seavey going quick time over Kyle Larson and Kevin Swindell. These races are really turning into kind of a who's who of sprint car racers and dirt racers across the country. You've got some incredible names and some guys that are really, really fast. Last night's field included Danny Dietrich, Chris Windom, Parker Price Miller, Bill Baylog, Stuart Freeze, and Aaron Reitzel. To kind of go along with some of the guys we've even been seeing here through a lot of these shows, but. They pushed the field out last night to 6 heat races. They'd been doing 5. Last night they did 6, still taking the top 3 to the feature. Those heats were won by Logan Seavey, Robbie Kendall, Kevin Swindell, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Tony Gualda. After getting a rough driving penalty in his heat race, Trent Ivey came from the 11th starting position in the D main to win over Stuart Freeze and Brent Marks and Justin Allgaier. Trent Ivey won the late model portion of the Fox Sports 1 show last week. He is a super late model racer from South Carolina, and he's been really good in a lot of these iRacing shows. In the C main, it was Ivey again coming from 11th to win and transfer with Brad Lamberson, Anthony Macri, and Brent Marks. Randy Hannigan won the B and transferred into the feature with Max Stambaugh, Bill Baylog, and Seth Bergman. Trent Ivey, he made a hell of a run at it. He started 14th in that B and ended up finishing 5th. He missed that feature by only 1 spot. So almost a full alphabet run, which we have seen a few times already in some of these shows. But he missed that alphabet run by just 1 spot. I think it would have been fun to see him in that feature too, with kind of the way things turned out. In the feature though, it was all Logan Seavey. He started from the pole and led all 35 laps en route to his second $1,000 win of the week. The racing behind him for second though was really, really good. Brent Mahalski coming out on top over Tony Gualda, Christopher Bell, and Kevin Swindell. Bill Baylog was your hard charger. He ran from 21st to finish 8th. Following the race, I guess it wouldn't be sprint car racing, wouldn't be dirt racing, wouldn't be racing at all if there wasn't maybe some cheating, a little controversy. But following the race, officials disqualified Danny Dietrich after he didn't provide verification that it was actually him racing and not somebody else. I think there was some questions over the validity of his result. He had struggled in 1 or 2 of the races he'd ran in before, and last night was right up there racing kind of in the top 5, top 3. So a little controversy last night. Danny Dietrich was then scored with the final place in the feature, which then moved everybody else up 1 spot that finished behind him. It feels a little bit normal and like things maybe are kind of normalizing out a little bit when we start having things like possible cheating going on in racing. So interesting story there. Both Outlaw series are back in action tonight for a pair of features at Knoxville Raceway. Those will be live on Fox Sports 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern. Adam Alexander, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, and Johnny Gibson will have the call. We'll again be back tomorrow with the recaps of those shows. Last week's shows, Christopher Bell won the sprint car portion. Trent Ivey won the late model portion. Be pretty incredible fields again tonight. It sounds like maybe Bubba Wallace, Juan Montoya, Austin Dillon will be included in some of these shows, to kind of go along with some of the dirt stars that have been, competing with these already. So should be a fun night tonight on Fox Sports 1. The Schaffer Spring Fling for late models on iRacing kicked off last night. 180 drivers on the entry list. They split them between 3 full programs. Those programs included qualifying, heats, Bs, and a feature. The top 3 in each feature transfer to Thursday's 100-lap main event. As we talked about yesterday, the entry list is stacked with real-life top racers, the best iRacing guys, a lot of league racers, and a lot of names you'll see elsewhere if you pay attention to kind of the iRacing world. But I mean, guys like Brandon Shepard and Mike McKinney and any number of guys, Rusty Schlank, a lot of these late model stars were involved with this. But this one kind of seemed like it was really dominated by those iRacing guys and guys that have a lot of experience on the simulation. I kind of decided to get involved with this event. I've been talking a lot about iRacing and a lot about these races and these events, and I kind of wanted to support one of these events, so I decided to jump in here. We are sponsoring the Thursday A-Main Hard Luck Award with DIRTRACKR. So $50 goes to the person on Thursday night in the feature who is judged to have hard luck, courtesy of DIRTRACKR.com. So you will hear the announcers talking about DIRTRACKR through the week, and appreciate them letting me get involved, and hopefully this isn't the last of these things I'll be able to do. I would like to certainly do more and help support not just virtual racing but some actual racing as well. So we'll stay tuned for some other involvement in the future. But the racing was kind of about as crazy as you would expect. 180 guys, split between basically 3 servers, which means 60 guys per server, and 3 guys from each is going to transfer. So there's going to be a lot of desperation and a lot of guys making crazy moves to try to get themselves in position to be up front with one of those transfer spots. In the night's first feature, it was 2019 iRacing World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion Blake Majulis winning from his 4th starting spot. He moves on to Thursday's 100-lapper with Austin Matthews and James Edens. Last year's Spring Fling winner Dylan Fox was 1 spot outside the transfer in 4th. The win also gives Majulis the pole for Thursday night, so big moves for him and securing him his upfront starting position to try to win his first ever Spring Fling. Action really got crazy in the night's second server. There was a lot of crashes, a lot of caution flags. In the feature, it was Jordan Casey grabbing the win and transferring to Thursday with Hayden Cardwell and Grant Riles. Pole sitter Zach Leonardi had to settle for 9th. Some other top racers included guys like Kendall Tucker and Cole Cabry. Those guys are on the outside looking in right now. And then the night's final feature was won by current series point leader and defending iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series champion Alex Bergeron. Randall Carter moved up from his 15th starting position to finish 2nd in transfer with Davin Cardwell 3rd. Looking ahead to Thursday, your now top 9 starters in the feature are Blake Majulis, Jordan Casey, Alex Bergeron, Austin Matthews, Hayden Cardwell, Randall Carter, James Edens, Grant Riles, and Davin Cardwell. As we get into tonight's program, there will be 3 more full programs on the slate, again with a top 3 in each feature earning a starting spot in Thursday's 100-lapper. Guys kind of have a choice to make now today. You can either choose to keep if you finish high enough in the feature, you are basically locked into a night 3 LCQ. But if you choose to not take that spot in the LCQ, you can then come back and race tonight and then try to transfer in through tonight's feature. So you kind of have a choice today to make about whether you want to have that spot in the LCQ or jump in tonight, try to guarantee yourself that spot in the feature. So we'll be keeping an eye on which drivers kind of make that choice and who decides to stay and who decides to race, and see if they can get into that feature tonight. If you'd like to watch, the action will begin tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Dirt on Dirt Facebook page. It is free to watch. It looked like they had a bunch of people last night watching. You can also actually watch this on the Team Victory Lane Racing Facebook page as well. But it looks like they had a ton of people watching. Ben Shelton, was on the call last night, so kind of one of those familiar late model voices on the call. Along with a couple of their other guys, but pretty fun stuff. Feed is top quality, and really enjoyed watching last night. I will be definitely tuning in again tonight. Looking at some more announcements for real racing, the CompCam Super Dirt Series has announced the remainder of their April schedule has been postponed. That includes events at Poplar Bluff Motorsports Park, Legit Speedway Park, Old Number 1 Speedway, and Greenville Speedway. Along with that, the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour announced they have postponed their race at Volunteer Speedway. They have pushed that back to August 22nd. They are also looking through a lot of their upcoming races and trying to figure out when they can move some of those other races back and try to get in as many of those races as possible. And I would imagine, as the days go on here and things start getting clearer, you'll probably start to see some more of these races getting pushed back and postponed. and hopefully we can get back to racing soon. I think I saw a story on Dirt about some tracks maybe getting back to doing some practice and things like that. So, hopefully we can get ahead of this thing and get an opportunity to get back racing sooner rather than later. I realized I've been knocking off all of the pay-per-view shows from the DIRTRACKR Daily pay-per-view schedule. Obviously all of these things that are now not happening, but I've been screwing up and not realizing that there's still all kinds of things going on. And not that I didn't realize it, but that I just didn't add them to the schedule. But, the Dirt Vision watch parties and some of the Dirt on Dirt shows that are going on and the live flow racing shows. So I'm going to start adding those back in. And obviously we'll be, we've been talking about when to watch that stuff, but I'll make sure that stuff is on the daily pay-per-view schedule because I screwed up and haven't been putting it there. So I will certainly add that stuff back today and make that page a little more valuable, being as how there is actually stuff going on. That's the show for today. Hope everybody gets a chance to tune into some of the action tonight. It's been really fun to watch so far. If you would like, you can find DIRTRACKR Daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe, leave me a review, tell your friends. You can also watch the show on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirtrackr.com, and you can follow along facebook.com/DIRTRACKR, twitter.com/DIRTRACKR, and the website dirtrackr.com. That is DIRTRACKR.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and you can sign up for the DIRTRACKR weekly newsletter right now on the site. I sent a new one of those out yesterday. So hope everybody has a good Wednesday. We will be back tomorrow with a fresh DIRTRACKR Daily. Hope everybody has a good day. We will see you tomorrow.